Hi, welcome to another Power Last podcast. I'm going to tell you, commitment hurts and it takes work, but we're going to talk about it. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Last podcast and owner of PutYourselfFirst.com. Happy New Year to you, and thank you so much for being a subscriber and a listener to this podcast, or if you're watching the video version, shout out to you there too. Going to talk about commitment today, and you've probably heard me talk about this before, where I think with the mantra with our fitness programs, we talk about decide, commit, succeed. Making the decision to get healthy and fit, making that commitment, and then succeeding. And while that mantra has been alive for a long time, a lot of times people make the decision, but the commitment part is where things sometimes go a little sideways or drift a little bit off. I was listening to a podcast by Brendan Burchard today, and he was talking about commitment and how commitment hurts. And you know, sometimes it takes time and it takes work, and it's not always the easiest to do. And I know at the very beginning of the year, a lot of times we get so fired up and we get passionate, and we get to where we're setting some goals and turning the page on that old year, and the new me is coming, and here we go. We're on this adventure. I've decided, and it's taking action. You're probably one of those people, if you're listening to this podcast, you're taking action on what it is that you have decided that you want to do. I'm talking with a lot of people right now, and their weight loss goals that people have, or some people are training to participate like in a marathon or some sort of event. And while I love that, and I take action immediately, because sometimes that excitement happens, and then if you wait too long to take the action, and then your brain starts to get in the way, and you start to overthink it. For those of you that are audiobook listeners, or even reading books, there's a book out there by Mel Robbins called The 5-Second Rule. And she talks about that, when the need to act upon something, like you've got 5 seconds to act upon something before your brain just starts to get in the way and talk you out of it. And so, but after listening to Brendan, it got me thinking, commitment, that is one of those things that it's sticking through your plan all the way through, even when you're hitting obstacles or when you're getting sidetracked. This is what's going to happen to some of you who are listening out there. You're going to get started, and all of a sudden an extra workload is going to be put on you, or you are going to get sick a little bit, or you're feeling sore and you're going to think, I need to take a day off or two, or somebody wanted to go out and have a nice little splurge, and you decided, I'm going to put my health and fitness program on hold till next week. And then it's like, no, maybe I'll wait until after Super Bowl. Yeah, I'll start. For a lot of people, after Super Bowl is their New Year's resolution. But I decided to do some Google searching today, and I came across some quotes that I thought were pretty powerful. Without commitment, you cannot have you can't have depth in anything, whether it's a relationship, a business, or a hobby. And I thought, gosh, or even just exercising and eating right. You've got to commit to that and stay consistent with it. Another one was be patient. Sometimes you have to go through the worst to get the best. I thought that was pretty powerful, because for a lot of us, exercise is not fun. Tracking food is not fun. Replacing all the fun comfort foods out of the house with healthy ones sometimes is not fun. But commitment means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. And so I came across a few of those. I thought, that's powerful stuff. So what are some ideas that you can do to commit? Now, I'm just going to share some things that have worked for me, because when I put my mind to do something, and if I find that it's going to be very important to me and I think it's going to really benefit me or someone I know and love, then I need a plan and a strategy. And I'm trying to think of what if strategies of things that may occur that might derail me. So for instance, when I first started, my program was called Power 90-day program. I decided I was going to commit to it after I kind of dabbled in it. And I'm going to talk to you. If you're dabbling something, that's not gonna be get you anywhere. When I find that it's too easy to let yourself off the hook when you're going and saying, oh, you know what, I'm going to see how it goes. We'll see how far I get. Right there, those statements takes all the confidence out of yourself, and you're like you're most likely to fail and not do anything. And you've given yourself permission to do that. But what I did was I know I've talked about this on several podcasts. It's getting a calendar out and just do today. I'm showing up today and I'm going to get my workout done. I'm not worried about the 90 days that are coming up and if I'm going to get these results and if I'm going to get these ripped abs and if I'm going to be able to do those hard workouts that I watch people do on infomercials. I didn't do that. I couldn't do that. If I'm projecting that far, while I'm excited to get the results, I could be talking myself out of it. I'm like, but I can do what I'm in control of, which is today. I can control my actions today, and that's it. And all I wanted to do was put an X on the calendar that showed I showed up today. So there's a lot of people in our group right now. We've got a group going. We've got an app that we're using, and you're welcome to join us. You can email me, perrytinsley@gmail.com, and I can give you the details on how to join us. We've got an app that we just check in and say, I got my workout done, I got my nutrition done, boom, I'm done. Puts a little X, a little check mark on the calendar. There's something to checking that off. And it's not just a to-do list thing. You're also benefiting things for your body. Things are starting to shift into motion. And it's really empowering when you check it off on the day that you did not want to show up, on the day that you were feeling kind of sick, on the day that you were feeling kind of sore, on the day you were feeling like no energy because work kicked your butt, on the day that you got some depressing news and it would just be easy to just say, you know what, I'll resume again later. Now's not the time. Now is the time. That is really empowering to yourself when you show up no matter what. And that's what I'm seeing in our group. We've got some people in there that are just showing up and saying, you know what? I slept in today. I really wasn't feeling like it. I had such a long set of workouts, but you know what? This is important to me. I showed up anyway and pushed play on my workout and got it done before I went to bed. That's pretty cool because it's so easy to give up. And you know what? Here's the thing about giving up. You take the pressure off. When you give up and when you quit, you're like, I don't have to worry about that anymore. That's that one thing that I was forced to do that I didn't like anyway. I feel better. But deep inside, that is not going to play out well, and you aren't going to feel better. It's going to roller coaster in a direction that you don't want until you're at another tipping point, until you're at another place where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm waiting for an ultimatum from my doctor to give me bad news, or man, now I've got so much weight on my knees, I might have to, do something about that. It's those sort of things, and so that's when I was checking these things off the calendar, I found, this is something I did project. I looked at the 90-day block. And I said, what events are coming up within those 90 days? Okay, we've got this birthday. Here's a couple of holidays that are going to happen. Oh, yeah. There's Valentine's Day coming up. And so what I would do is I would be strategizing. Okay, I want to take my sweetheart out for dinner for Valentine's Day, but I don't want to take us out of the game. I bet you there's a fantastic, healthy, eating a healthy restaurant that can give us great options, maybe some gluten-free things, some vegan eating, whatever it is, and we can still celebrate awesome. Or maybe there's a fantastic dinner that I can make at home that will save on some calories, still be fun, still be an intimate, fun time. So I will look at those things and I'll project. I won't make it to where I'm caught off guard. So if I know that there's something that's coming up at work and people always bring in treats, I was a teacher, people always brought in treats to the lounge. You know what? I kind of skipped going to the lounge just for that time. I did it in 90-day blocks. Sometimes I've even whittled it down to just 30-day blocks. Just say, you know what? It's just 30 days. So what? I'm missing the donuts for 30 days. Let me see if I can just do today, and I'll be okay. And you know what? My coworkers, they would always come up to me and they would say, I know that you're eating healthy. I at least wanted to offer you these cookies. And I would just politely say, no, thanks. And they're like, okay, I feel good that I at least offered to you. And that was it. I empowered myself. I was gracious for their gesture, and that was it. So think about those sort of things, because it's going to be so worth it once you stay committed, not only in the fitness and the health results that you're going to get, but there's so many other benefits along the way, and I could list them here on this podcast, and you would, if you haven't felt it yet and you haven't gone there yet, it'll just be kind of abstract when I tell you you're probably going to be less achy. You're probably going to become less sore. You'll probably be able to squat down to pick up that pencil off the ground and not feel your knees crack, or you not feel achy or wincing, or you'll be able to not pull muscles as easily, or you'll have a lot more energy throughout the day. You'll feel happier. All those little benefits, they start to reveal themselves because you're showing up each day and you're staying committed. And then set new goals once that happens. I've got people setting year goals right now, and I think that's great to be forward thinking. But you know what? I think setting 30, 60, and 90-day goals and staying committed to them and just doing today is going to be where it's at. So don't let yourself off the hook. Stay committed. It's going to be hard. It's going to hurt, but you're totally worth it. And that's it. I mean, do what scares you until it doesn't. That's all I have for this week. I so appreciate you for hanging in there, listening to, some great valuable tips just based on experience and people I've coached. And you know what? If you're looking for a solution and you're wanting something to where not only you want to stay accountable to yourself, but stay accountable with a group, then please email me, perrytinsley@gmail.com. We'll talk about a plan for you, and you can join our group. And we have people that are joining every day, and it's a lot of fun. And I so appreciate you for subscribing to this podcast. And if you find that you think somebody could really benefit from this episode or any of the other episodes, please pass it on, share it. You absolutely rock. Comment below if you've got some other ideas. And just know that this podcast comes in two different versions. There's an audio version and a video version over on iTunes Store. All you got to do is search for Power Blast Podcast, or you could do that in your podcast app. That works as well. And we're even on YouTube. You just go and search for Power Blast Podcast on YouTube. It's easier to subscribe through the podcast app, though. You absolutely rock, my friend. And remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. Have yourself a great 2018.